Did you know anyone here? You
Most
guys?
of my relative lives here
Oh,
now, so I think we're probably the second to the last that came here. So then at first when we came here, uh, we lived with my aunt for at least a year or two.
but after, why did your family decide to settle in Daly City? Like, if you had given a chance to live in another city, why not?
Um, well, this is Delhi City. Like this is the only place that we know, and plus that we noticed that most people here in Delhi City are Filipino. At least I would say 60% of population in Delhi City are Filipino.
How does it feel? Like everyone in your neighborhood is Filipino.
Doesn't doesn't feel really a difference because everywhere you go, you see Filipino. Every corner you see Filipino. So
Do you know English that well already?
no, when I first came here when I was 13, I don't speak any English at all. So when I go to school, I can understand, but I just can't speak it. So the only thing that I can say is yes or no. So one day that my principal called my aunt that saying that your nephew only say yes or no and yes or no all the time. So when I got home, my auntie spoke to me about it that the principal called her regarding our conversation. But what can I do? I don't know how to speak it.
So how did you cope up with that? Like, how did you make friends back then that you don't
Well,
speak English?
since because I don't know how to speak English, so they have to find somebody to translate it into my language.
So the school was generous enough to give you a translator.
Oh yeah, because our school is most of them are Filipino, so there are a couple of kids who knows how to speak English, who knows how to speak Tagalog at the same time. So as I remember, my first translator is actually Chinese. I was surprised because he knows how to speak Tagalog and Chinese and English, purely blood Chinese. Um, so as I study, then I just learn how to speak it.
Can you tell me more about your life here in the U.S.? Like after your school, or maybe in the school here. Like how did you settle down in school? I mean,
I would say that the life here, in my experience, that you have to work in order to go to school. You have to provide for yourself in order to go to school. Life back home, as far as I was told, that people just go to school, they don't work. So in order for you to survive, you gotta work.
so that was I think the most difficult adjustment because you work at the same time you go to school.
You can say that because I remember I used to work at fast food when I was 15 years old. I started working already when I was 15 to help out,
Oh,
and what else? I guess I needed to have my own money, experience.
what was it like making friends? Well, while you're like studying, while you're working, did you make any friends while doing those things at the same time? Did you had a time for friends actually?
Yeah, usually after school we would play basketball, or I attended a what is that swimming program.
You love to swim, huh?
Yes, we would compete to different school. And then it wasn't that hard to make friends, just because most of your classmates are Filipino.
Oh.
You can just count the people actually. White people, you can actually count in how many white people they go to school. Where I used to go was more, I would say 95% are all Filipino.